It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. As we speak more and more about the fallen woman, a reaction is going to take place. As we know, every reaction is caused by a cause, right? It has a cause. Well, Jezebel is going to react to the truth being spoken. And like I said, because of the particular truth that we're talking about right now, which is the fallen world is the woman listening to the serpent and the man listening to the woman. Now that gives the woman a false sense of superiority and power. You see it, little flock? And because of that, she believes that she sits a queen and she's powerful and untouchable because she believes that she wields this power over man. You see it? And so when the truth that she actually has no power, like Genesis says, he shall rule over you, even though you want to rule over him, he's going to rule over you. Because this is the case, when the truth comes out, she's going to fight against it. She's going to hate it. And if that's the world that you've been living in, like I've told you, do you see now why the world hates the truth? If you think people hate something, offer them the truth. You're going to truly see them hate something. You see that, little flock? So, in order to understand what's going to happen on the earth as this truth comes out, which exposes this Jezebel, you see, anything that requires deception requires it to be hidden from view. That is what she learned. And this can all be proven in the scriptures, as I have done already for you, little flock. In Genesis, she learned how to deceive because she was deceived. You see it? She learned a new thing. She experienced a new thing that her husband would have never done. That's the truth. We never see it saying that Adam deceived Eve, but the serpent did. You see it, little flock? And so she learned how to deceive, how to make things look good on the outside, how to make them appear good to people, but meanwhile it's full of dead men's bones and death. Because if you serve Satan, then who do you serve? The carnal mind. The carnal mind is death. You see that, little flock? So if the woman listening to death, and death has become her daddy, has become her God, then what has she become? Death. What does the scripture says about the wicked adulterous woman? Her feet take hold of hell. You see how the scriptures go together without a chink in it? You see that, little flock? Her feet take hold of hell. And she waits. She lies in wait to pounce on a man, to catch him. You see that? Well, she learned that from her father, who did that to her. You see it, little flockulators? Well, to get to the point of this message, she don't want to be exposed. You see it? Great wrath come out. And we're going to see that through the scriptures that we read today so that you understand the characteristics of this Jezebel. You see it, little flock? We're starting in Revelation. The book of Revelation, chapter 2. We read this a couple days ago in a previous message. We're going to read it again. We're going to start there, and then we're going to move on. Revelation chapter 2, starting at verse 19. I know thy works and charity and service and faith, and thy patience, and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Stop. So does it seem like Jezebel is a good thing to keep around, or something that you have to get rid of? Well, he said you're suffering her, and I'm having aught with you because of that. So then, in other words, Yahusha doesn't suffer no Jezebel. You see it, little flock? Because that's who's speaking when he says, I have aught with you, or I have somewhat against thee. that you're allowing that Jezebel to teach. She called herself a prophetess. You see that, little flock? So now, if she wants to teach the children, like I've told you she has been doing, didn't I tell you all this, little flock? If you're born into the world of sin, then that means that you're born into a world that's run by the woman who gets her orders from Satan. And the man is subject to that woman. Is that not what I told you? I'm going to prove that to you here today. So there isn't any discrepancy of what I've said. All right. Let's go to the book of 2nd Kings. Well, let's go to the book of 1st Kings. All right. The book of 1st Kings, chapter 19. 1st Kings, chapter 19. I'm going to start at verse 1. And Ahab, stop. Who is Ahab, little flock? Ahab is the king. Now, do you hear that good? I need you to hear it good because it's important that you do. King Ahab, so he's the king, told Jezebel, his wife, the queen. So the king is telling his wife, the queen, something. Let's see what he's telling her. He told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. You see that there, little flockulators? What did I tell you earlier in this message? When the truth comes, it exposes Jezebel, and she hates that. She does not want that to be. She doesn't ever want to be seen for what she is. And like I said, we're going to prove that. It's very subtle in the Bible when it exposes it, but we're going to pull it on up out of there so that you can see it real nice and good. You see that, little flock? So we see the king confiding in the queen. Now, that's already out of order, isn't it? Isn't it? When there's a problem, who should go to who? Should the king go to the queen with the issue, or should the queen be coming to the king with the issue? Well, according to divine alignment, God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man is the head of the woman. You see it? But in the fallen world, what is it, little flock? Satan is the head of the Antichrist is the head of the woman is the head of man. Don't you see it? So that's what we see going on here. This is why we're reading it, so that we can see what happens when that's the case, like it is today on the earth. What are the fruits of the earth being in that order that I just described to you? What are the results of that? Since you guys are going along with it, thinking everything is fine, I may as well tell you what the results are so that you can judge for yourself whether it's going to be fine for you or not. Watch this. So Ahab told Jezebel, look what Elijah's doing. Elijah is the prophet of Abba. You see that there? So he tells the truth. Now, what is an interesting attribute of a prophet? What did I tell you in the video about fathers last night? What did I say, guys? The unique love of the Father is that he tells you a truth regardless of how you feel about it. Now, let's get the proof on that. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Cry aloud and spare not, and show the children of Israel their sin. Stop, little flock. What am I quoting? I'm quoting the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel is called the Son of Man, a prophet of God. And that is what Abba told him. You need to tell the truth to the people. In other words, that's what speaking like a trumpet is. That's how the truth goes forth out of your mouth. It doesn't matter how loud or how quiet you speak it. The fact is that it goes forth like a trumpet when it comes out of your mouth. Tell them the truth and don't spare them. What would cause you to spare a person from telling them the truth? Well, you know it in your own experience of living, that there have been times you did not tell the truth to your friend or to your wife or to your mother. Why? Because you didn't want to hurt their feelings. Is it not what I've been telling you guys the world is under the spell of, little flock? Do you see how this is going? You're in feelings world. Is that not what I've told you? So people have hindered the truth from going forth to spare feelings. Well, you don't see that with the prophet. You actually see him being told, if you don't tell them the truth, then their blood for suffering the penalty will be on your hands. So do you see why the grandson of right thought is telling you today? You guys may think that going along with the way the world is just fine for you, but it's going to have a result. And I'm going to tell you the result so that you can decide if you still want to go along with it or not. Aren't I doing the same thing Ezekiel said? Yep, it's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, it is. You see it? It's only one spirit. So let's continue with this. Verse 2. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah. So stop here. So a husband and wife, in this case, Ahab and Jezebel, got beef with a prophet. But when it come time to holler at that prophet, or as we say today, I'm going to get on live and talk to you, or I'm going to send you a DM, Jezebel did it. Now, isn't that the case in the wicked household where the woman runs the household? Somebody's got a problem. She's the one opens her big ass mouth and stepping out there. Motherfucker, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, bitch. Let me tell you what the fuck gonna go. Now I'm gonna beat some ass. You think you gonna come over here cause us a problem? Y'all seen that all over the world, haven't you? Haven't you? You see men fighting, the women jumping all in between, trying to fight and shit. You see it all the time. Well, that's what you see here because of the world I told you that you're living in, where it's women that run it and men are subject to the women and the women is subject to Satan. So ultimately, everybody's serving Satan unbeknownst to themselves. That's what they're doing. It's unbeknownst to them because a deceiver is the one who has worked this plot on you all. Well, if it's a deceiver who has worked it, then a deceiver works in a way where it's unbeknownst to you. It's like when the snake bites you. He bit you and then you walk off. Since we're talking about a snake, you walk off and you think you're okay. You're like, wow, okay, that bite wasn't so bad. But you didn't see nor did you realize that he pumped his poisonous as venom into your veins. And that's what's going to do the killing as you continue to walk off thinking you're all good. Here comes the killing part. You see it? Well, that's how deception works. It lulls you into thinking that you're safe, and then the sting comes after. Kapow! I'm about to warn y'all about the sting that comes after. All right? So Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, the one they got beef with. Now let's see what this message says. If remember the energy I told you, bitch, you ain't about to do shit. I'm gonna fuck you up. You come over here talking shit to me and mine. The energy y'all have seen out of the Jezebels that you have seen. Let's see if it's the same energy in this letter that she sends to Elijah. If you guys think I'm tripping. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. So who is the them she's talking about? In the first verse, it said that Elijah slain all the prophets with the sword. So they were dead. She said, I'm going to make you like one of them. Is that not the same energy I described to you? Yes, it is. See how I'm not lying to you? I'm describing it to you perfectly because that's what you see. Bitch, you ain't about to do shit to me, bitch. I'm going to drag your motherfucking ass. Come on here, bitch. I'll fuck you up. That's what Jezebel just did when she heard her husband tell her something. She hadn't even understood all the facts yet. She just heard her husband say, did you hear what Elijah did? Fuck that motherfucker, bitch. Don't you know I'm going to fucking kill your ass? Isn't that what she just said? So look what kind of energy she got. Do you think that's the world that you should be living in? Well, what kind of world do you live in when people shoot first and ask questions later? Proving that they're all under Jezebel's spell, which ultimately means that they're serving Satan. What did Yahusha say? You can't serve two. How many gods did she mention in what she just said? Did she say there was one God or did she say gods with an S? So she's proving that she's an idolatry and she's a pagan worshiper. Is she not proving she's a heathen? Okay, then. All right, then. So she said, I'm going to kill you. All right. Now we're going to jump to the book of 2 Kings. All right. 2 Kings chapter 9. I only read those two so that you get the energy that she's got. Y'all can see it clearly. So you can understand why Yahusha don't want her in the body at all. He will not tolerate Jezebel in the body. You see it? Because she's the female form of narcissism. The male form is ego. You see it there, little flockulators. All right. 2 Kings chapter 9, starting at verse 30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face. Stop, little flockulators. Is that something that you commonly read in the Bible that women were doing, like Sarah and Rebecca and Rachel? And do you read in there? It'd be like, yeah, and they painted their face before Jacob came into the tent. Is that something that you read? No. Why does it say it here with Jezebel? Because look around the world that you live in. Those same women that talk all that shit and got that masculine ass energy, Don't they paint their faces up before they appear on a camera? Before they take a picture? Before they go out to dinner? Before they get married? Before they do any damn thing that they do, they paint their faces up. Where did they learn to do that from, guys? Skeet deedly, can you understand me? So now there's a red dragon who's called Satan, who's that old serpent from the beginning, Revelation says, that deceived the woman. And the Bible also calls him Azazel, a red dragon. Now, when you read about Azazel in the book of Enoch, you'll read that he is the demon who taught women how to paint their faces with makeup to beguile men. So I told you that she listens to Satan, and that's where she gets her teachings from. Did Enoch tell you the same thing, or did he lie, or did I lie? No, they're actually jiving and going together like Legos because that's what truth do. And Jezebel don't like that because she doesn't want the truth being told because she lives off of feelings, and feelings aren't complete truth. Some feelings are true, but not all of them are. Yahusha proved that when they were on the boat and they were all afraid for their lives. They even said they were going to die. Well, then how come they didn't die? See what I'm describing to you? Well, you should. So now she painted her face. What else did she do? And tied her hair, wrapped her hair up. Didn't I tell you about the head wraps and got the tarot cards and reading astrology, zodiac signs, and you see all the shit about Jezebel I'm exposing? You see why she doesn't want to be exposed? Because that means the children will stop listening to her if they knew that what she's teaching has no profit in it. Well, that's what Revelation told you. That's why I started with that scripture. Idols and eating things that are idols, it's vain. That's what that means. She's teaching them to become one with things that are vain. Become one with tarot cards. Become one with astrology. That's all comes out of the woman and her children. If you see a man doing it, it's because he's an Ahab. In other words, he's an effeminate man who learned what he learned from his mother, from that woman. Just like I asked you all, who taught her this? Enoch said Azazel did, the red dragon. So what do you think? I said Satan taught it to her. Who do you say taught it to her? So then who should she be teaching the children? No. See how he says, you suffer her to teach? You allowing her to teach in the church. That means teaching the children. Why are you allowing her to teach? Don't. So we not. That's why this message is coming out. You see why she don't like it? Remember, this is spiritual warfare. That means everybody under the Jezebelian spell and all of her children will hate this message going out. You see it there, little flockulators? And I'm already seeing their hate. That's how I know it. Because I'm spiritually minded. So I can see spiritual things. Because I don't judge by the seeing of my eyes. So then how must I be looking? You decide. So she painted her face, tied her hair, and looked out at a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace, who slew his master? Now stop real quick, little flock. Is Jehu her husband? Listen to what I'm describing to you. Look at her characteristics. No, her husband is Ahab, as we discovered in 1 Kings. So then why did you hear that Jehu was coming and you painted your face and got all dolled up next to the window so he could see you? Why did you do that? Because you're an adulterous woman. Like the scripture says, she teaches people to commit fornication. See what I'm saying to you, little flock? Do you see the accuracy of the swing blade that I'm swinging? The same blade that Elijah was using where he killed all the prophets of Baal with. That's what I'm swinging right now. So I told you, Jezebel for damn sure can't stand me. That's why she stay far from me. That's why she hates on me. That's why she lie on me. That's why she smear campaign me, because she doesn't want the children to listen to me. Because if they listen to me, then they will hate her for what they learned from her. She's afraid of that. But what did I tell you all? Forgive her, because she did it ignorantly. You see that, little flock? But let's see what the fruits are. Like I said, we ain't got to them yet. We just seeing the characteristics that's going to bring about the fruit. All right? As Jehu entered in at the gate, then she said those words, verse 32. And he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Uh-oh. Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. So there was a few guys in that palace that she was in that were on his side because he was against Jezebel, see? And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses and he trod her underfoot, stumped her with the horse. Got the horse to stump all on her. After they threw her down from where that high place she was at. You see that there, little flock? All right. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink and said, go, see now this what, little flock? 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 34. Read it. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink and said, what? Go, see now this cursed woman. Stop. What was the curse in the very beginning that I've started these series of messages talking about? Eve. You listened to the serpent, so you got cursed. That's Jezebel. The fallen woman is Jezebel, the one who listens to Satan. So if she has children, she will teach them Satan's teachings that she learned. Like I told you, and that's the world that you're living in, which is called Esau's world. Esau, nickname is Red, and he's called Red because he's got the teachings from his father, which is the devil, which is the same generation of people Yahushua was talking about when he said, you are of your father, the devil. In the lust of your father, you will do it. He was a liar and abode not in the truth, for there is no truth in him. Is that not what was said? All right. And when he was come in, he ate and drank, said, go now, see this cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. Did you hear that, little flockulators? Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spake by the servant of Elijah. Remember the one she had beef with? I said, I'm going to kill you. What happened to her? It returned on her own head. Do you guys hear that, little flockulators? Ooh, dropped my phone. Do y'all hear that, little flockulators? It turned on her own head. The thing she had planned for Elijah. I'm going to kill you. Well, Elijah said you were going to die. And that's exactly what happened to you. And he didn't have to physically do anything to cause your death. Did he? No. No. Okay. This is the word of the Lord which he spake by the servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall the dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. The dog's gonna eat up Jezebel. I got a video on my page a couple years back called Let the Dogs Eat Her. And it's about Jezebel. Do you see why I'm saying that on there? Don't suffer her to teach nothing. Don't let her teach your children. Don't let her teach you. Don't let her teach nothing. Don't let her talk. Because if she does, she's going to speak a lie. Because she's going to speak as her father speaks. And her father speak a lie. There's no truth in him, as I broke down so eloquently for you guys earlier. All right? And it don't matter how she feels. You see what I mean about how I'm saying this? Men that still pander to women, that still want women's approval, see, because he's still in that world, he will not tell the truth like I'm telling it today. Because he's too scared that he's going to lose the support of women. Oh God, what if women don't support me? They're going to think I'm misogynistic. They're going to think I hate women. It's because they're carnally minded. That's why they think that. What about all the carnal thing they thought about Yahusha? Was it true? You would say no. Well, it was the children of the viper that he said, you were a generation of vipers. It was them that was saying all the accusations, wasn't it? Well, you would say, yeah. And then I would say, didn't he say they lie? And then you would say, yeah, that's what he said.
Boss, can I ask you a favor?
What's up?
You got 40 sit on you?
Yep.
40 cents.
Yep.
How do you appreciate that?
Yep, no problem. Shit. I got $1.
I don't need all that.
Oh, it's all good. I ain't got no change, but
Okay,
I do got that.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm glad to help.
Yeah, thanks, boss.
No problem. All right. So he said, but they went in to bury her, but they found no more than her skull, feet, palms of her hands. Wherefore they came again and told him and said, this is the word that Elijah said, the dogs are going to eat her, see? And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung. Dung means shit, doo-doo, upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel. so that they shall not say, this is Jezebel. They won't even better recognize that it was her. You see that there, little flock of laters? You see how we just tearing up her little illusions of outward appearance that she's been trying to paint up as that she's good and she's a prophetess? You ain't no damn prophetess if you try to paint yourself up to be one. Because a person who is something just is. They don't try to make a fanciful idea of the thing that they is. If they is it, I don't know if y'all can understand that. Okay, I'll give you an example of what I mean. If I was a vampire and my teeth look the way that they look right now, and this is just the way that my teeth look, why would I then go to a dentist and get some large fangs put on my teeth and some contacts to make my eyes look very vampiric and all this other shit, just so that when a person sees me, they say, oh my God, a vampire. Look at him, he's a vampire. If I already am one, why would I change my appearance to appear as that what is said to be what I am? Do you follow what I'm saying here today, little flock of laters? Wouldn't I just accept that I am what I am and I wouldn't worry about what another person thought? Well, you're not a vampire. You don't have the teeth like a vampire has, nor do you have eyes like a vampire. All right, come here. What am I now? Your ass a vampire. Yeah, you about to be one here in a second. Y'all understand what I'm saying here, little flock of laters? All right. All right. So we see what the end of Jezebel was. Now we're going to see this energy in a couple more places because, as you know, we need 2 or 3 witnesses to establish a matter. So now we got one with Revelation. We got another one here with the original Jezebel herself and what she was about, which was murder and killing. Let's get a little bit more about that real quick, matter of fact, before we get out of this book. Let's go back to 1 Kings real quick, where we were originally. Now that we're on this subject, we may as well get another witness about this killing ass way of being that Jezebel has. All right. 1 Kings chapter 21, we'll start at verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. See that there, little flock? King of the northern kingdom of Israel. Ahab. See? And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. If it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. So in other words, what is Ahab saying to Naboth here? Ahab was at the palace looking around, and he saw a vineyard next to the palace, and he liked it. And he said, why would I go way over to my vineyard, way over there to get wine, when I can just use this vineyard right here to get wine? This is way more convenient. What did I tell you about the world? It's about feelings. It's about making things convenient for you, and that's how he deceives you. Well, here we go. That's more convenient to have that vineyard. So he goes to the owner of the vineyard named Naboth, and he says, hey, man, I'll give you another vineyard in exchange. We can do a trade. Or I'll give you some money for your vineyard. Either way, I want that vineyard, man. You see? Nothing really wrong with that yet. And Naboth said to Ahab, here we go. The Lord forbid it me. That solved the issue. He said, no. That I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. He said, no, I can't give my inheritance away. I got this vineyard by inheritance. I inherited it. Can't just give it away to you. I'll take something that belongs to my family and be giving it to your bloodline. I'm not going to do that. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased. Beta. Came home looking like a beta male with his tail tucked between his legs as if he's not a king. Look at him. Oh, man. You told me I couldn't have the vineyard. Didn't you say you had another one? Didn't you say you had a whole lot of money? Look how that shit is. Still complaining. You're still a brat. You're still spoiled. You see it there, little flock? You still ain't got no backbone, and you're still a mama's boy. Ain't he? Well, let's see. Let's see how he solves his issue. As a man or as a mama's boy? Let's see it. So he's heavy and displeased, right? And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken unto him. For he said, I will not give it to you. And he laid down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread. Spoiled ass brat, like I told you, right? What would you guys call this? Is this a king? This is the way a king behaves? Or is this a spoiled ass brat? What would you call it? So he turned his face away and would eat no bread. Now watch, little flock, what happens here. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him. When did Satan show up with Eve? Hey, don't you desire something? What did I tell you, little flock? He comes when you desire some earthly vain bullshit. Now, what does he desire? Ahab, that is, that vineyard. And he couldn't get it. Because Naboth got it. I can't get it. Sounds just like my servant Cain. So let me see if you're willing to get down with the get down. Hey, you. Don't you say you want something? Isn't that what's going on here, little flock? Let's see. Jezebel is the daughter of Satan, so she's going about Satan's business, doing the work of her father. Just like Yahusha said he came to do of his father. All right, then. All right. But she came and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad, that thou eatest no bread? Seems like she cares, huh? And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and I said unto him, I'm doing my voice like this because he's just so dramatic, isn't he? Give me thy vineyard for money, or else if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? See what I mean? Ain't you a king, nigga? See what I'm saying to you? I don't know, maybe y'all can't. Let's keep reading. Arise and eat bread. Get up and eat, and let your heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. I'll get it for you, baby. Don't worry about it. Get you something to eat, relax, have a good old time, chill. So she wrote letters. Here she goes again with the DMs. Didn't I tell you this how this shit went last time? When she sent some messengers to Elijah? And she was sending some messengers to tell Elijah that she was going to do what? Kill. So I got to say it like that. Kill. So let's see if she's doing the same thing here. Let's see. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name. Is that legal or is that called forgery? That's called forgery. So see how illegal and wicked as hell Jezebel is? See how she has no respect for authority? Not whatsoever. Does she? Well, let's see if she has respect for anything. Let's see. And sealed them with his seal. In case you were wondering if it truly was forgery. And sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city dwelling with Naboth. So now, they think it's a decree coming down from the king. Is it? No, it's not. It's coming from wicked ass Jezebel. But they think it's coming from the king. Look how weak this king is. Look how weak this king is. And she wrote in the letters, saying, proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial. We've discussed this in earlier videos. Sons of Belial means sons of worthlessness and base men. Men with no integrity. They don't care what they have to do to get something. They will kill to get. That's the son of Belial. See? One of her children. Before him to bear witness against him. Sons of Belial can also be translated in modern terms as flying monkeys. You see that? To bear witness against him, saying, thou did blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. So in other words, she said, bear false witness against him and carry him out and kill him before anybody can do anything to stop it. Does that sound righteous or wicked? Did he actually do anything? No, she's bearing false witness and she's committing murder. Isn't that what she did the last time she hopped in some DMs like I told y'all, little flock of laters? Yeah, she's doing it again. So this is the world that y'all been living in. This is what happens when you're raised by a woman who listens to Satan. She's a murderous, devilish ass, wicked, lying ass, stinking ass, adultery, stinking pussy having ass bitch. Like I said on my video, don't suffer her, let the dogs eat her. Why else would I talk to a woman of her caliber any other type of way than I am right now if dogs gonna gobble her ass up? How would you talk to somebody whose end result is to be gobbled up by a little ass, puny ass, loose ass, rabbit ass, sick ass, worm having ass dog? All right. So she got him killed. You see that? Verse 11, and the men of his city, even the elders and nobles who were the inhabitants of his city, did as Jezebel sent unto them. and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. Yeah, because they thought the king was telling them to do it. They proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, sat before him, and the men Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones that he died. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. Now, what did I tell you is the mark of Cain, or the mark of the beast? Killing your brother to get. Have I told y'all guys that, or am I lying by saying I've told it to you? I've told it to you guys. So am I lying here by proving it to you? They wanted to get a vineyard, and they killed him to get it. Brotherly love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. See the difference of the two worlds that I'm describing to you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And it came to pass, verse 15, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, let's see if she cried. Let's see if she shed a tear after she heard the man was dead. Let's see if she sent flowers or set up a GoFundMe for his funeral. Let's see what she did. And it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money, for Naboth is not alive, but dead. You a stone cold killer. You have no kind of nothing in there saying that what you did was wrong. The adulterous woman wipes her mouth and says she did no sin. What do you mean I did something wrong? I did? No, I didn't. I did exactly what my father told me to do. I'm a good girl, aren't I? See how he gave me a lollipop? Ooh, boy. Alrighty then. All right. And it came to pass when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead. Let's see if he cries. Let's see if he feels bad about the man he just talked to the other day, the man of integrity. Let's just see if he sends some flowers or sets up a GoFundMe for that man or pays for his funeral or anything. Let's see. And when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it. Do y'all guys hear that? And the word of I am came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, look at Abba, arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he has gone down to possess it. So you see what Abba's doing? He saw what wickedness was done. He's going to send his servant to go tell the truth of what was done, regardless of how you feel about it, nigga. Ain't that what happened? And then y'all read about what came. Jezebel got smoked. All right, then, little flock of letters, didn't it? Ain't that how it went? Mm-hmm. Now we're going to get another witness. Now you guys were just reading about Elijah, right? That's what you were reading about. Had beef with Jezebel, they had war. You see it? One knows the Father's love. That would be Elijah. So see how the Father's love is hated by Jezebel through Elijah? She hates him and wants to kill him because he represents the Father's love. That's what the children of Israel were supposed to always have been taught, correct? Who's the greatest teacher of Israel? The Messiah. And what did he teach us? He revealed the Father. What is the Father? Love. So his greatest teaching is for the greatest power there is, which is love, because love conquers all. So his teaching conquers all other teachings. And his teaching is love. If you search it, you'll see that. Jezebel doesn't teach love. Didn't I just prove it to you? She teaches murder. She teaches what her father taught her. How am I proving that that's her father? Her father was a murderer from the beginning. Swing, 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 swing like a washing machine. Matthew chapter 14. Let's go there next. Matthew chapter 14. Now remember, we were talking about Elijah. In the New Testament, there is a prophet named John the Baptist. Yahusha said this was Elijah. So if we see him again, then we should see Jezebel again. Shouldn't we, little flockulators? Let's see if we do. And if we see her again, then we should see some murder going on. Well, let's see it. Matthew chapter 14. At that time, Herod, verse 1, the tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahusha and said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. So we see another high-ranking position of Israel, which is King Herod, king. And you see there's a woman mentioned there, a wife mentioned there that he got illegally. Now somebody's going to tell him the truth of him taking his brother's wife illegally. Let's see who that is that's going to tell him that. For John said unto him, see, John said unto Herod, it is not lawful for thee to have her. Do you see it, little flock of laters? So if you were the leader of a country and you were married to somebody and it wasn't lawful for them to be married, would you want that news to be broadcast to the whole earth and wound your image that you've put up in front of them? Would you want that to happen? I don't think you would. But there's somebody who's going to tell that truth, even if you don't want it to be told. In this case, that's John the Baptist, who we read, just told him that. Like I said, so let's see if Jezebel responds with a murderous rage. Let's see. And when he would have put him to death, look how quick that came in this scenario. He feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet, just like Elijah. See? So he was like, damn, I want to kill him, but I'm not going to kill him because I'm scared that the people are going to trip out. So he was able to restrain his murderous rage, but let's see if this woman will be able to. Verse 6, but when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias, the same woman we read earlier, Herodias, that's the woman, see? The daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Move your body like a snake, ma. Move your body like a snake, ma. Move your body like a what? Yeah, where she learn how to do them moves? Where you learn how to move your body like that, Herodias' daughter? Did you learn how to dance like that from your mama? You got it from your mama? Is that where? Well, we're going to prove that you did. Let's keep going here. All right. She danced before them, and it pleased Herod. You see that? Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she asked. I'll give you anything you want, girl. You danced with me so good. I'll give you anything you want. So she seduced him. Now let's see. And she, being before instructed of her mother, guys, do you hear how I'm slicing the dagger through this bitch? I'm exposing everything about her ass, lifting up her stinking ass skirt. Can't you smell the stench coming up out of that shit? Uh-huh. Yeah. She was instructed of her mother beforehand. So this was all premeditated for you to dance in front of him, to seduce him. Do you think God is the one coming up with that? Or do you think she learned that from her father, Satan, and then told it to her daughter? Just like I told you what's going on in the world, that you guys deny it's going on. It's going on right there when Yahushua was on the earth, and that's why he called them a generation of vipers, like I said in my last video. In case you're wondering, go back and watch it again, and then you'll see that I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth about everything that I've said. Watch what she's going to ask for. He said, I'll give you anything you ask. So she, being before instructed of her mother, said, give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. Cut his head off and give it to me. What kind of woman would ask for a gift like that? A woman who is led by Satan. Obviously. Okay, continuing. And the king was sorry. Didn't I tell you? He held himself back from doing that shit. He was like, no, that shit ain't right. I ain't doing that. But look at the woman. Do it. Mm-hmm. Now let's see if he's going to be a man and stand on some integrity, or if he's going to be a beta and be an Ahab here. Let's see. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat. See, they're all looking at me for my image. I got to keep my image up. Make it seem like I'm really a strong king, even though you were just manipulated by a little ass girl dancing in front of you, twerking, nigga. Twerking is that important for you? OnlyFans is that deep for you? Will you cut a nigga head off to get another view? Damn. Let's see. And them which sat with him at meat, and so he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in prison, and his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took up the body and buried it and went and told Yahushua. So did I lie or did I tell you guys the truth? Did I set it up nicely for you before I served it to you, or did I not? Well, I told you that Elijah was John the Baptist, and so if he was there, then Jezebel would show her ugly head because she seeks to kill God's servant who speaks the truth, no matter how you feel about it. I told you guys about how I was married to a Jezebel, and when I was married to her, I had a dream that she was talking to her daddy, and her daddy said, "Kill him before he speaks." Does that coincide perfectly with what's going on here? He told the truth about your unlawful wedding that you had with your brother's wife there. Kill that nigga. I don't want nobody to know that. It's the same damn thing I told you about in the dream that I had. You see it? And so for me to be so naive to look at those two examples and see that she will kill a nigga to stop him from speaking, as we saw, she will even cut his head off to do it, then who am I to deny that that dream, when Abba says, "I seal my instructions as a man lie upon his bed, and while he slumbers, I give him warning." So then he did, and he said, "That woman wants to kill you. You better escape." So who am I to say, "Oh no, she doesn't want to kill me. She'll never go through with it"? Well, you must don't know whose daughter that is. She does what her mother tells her to do. And what did her mother tell her to do? Kill. And she did it. See what I'm saying? All right, then go to Ezekiel, the one we mentioned earlier, and let's see what he has to say about this same scenario, about this Jezebelian world you live in. Ezekiel chapter 16, go to verse 44. "Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, As is the mother, so is her daughter." Stop, little flock. Isn't that what we just read there in Matthew? Wow. Look at the accuracy of the blade that we're swinging. See what I mean? She listens to the mother. And if the mother is led by Satan, then the daughter will be. Don't you see it here today, little flock? I'll give you another interesting thing that I learned when I was getting married. When I took my ex-wife's mother out to breakfast to let her know that I wanted to marry her daughter, her mother said to me, "Don't you know my daughter's evil?" She said it just as matter-of-factly as that. She's evil. Well, we read here the mother is as the daughter. The daughter is as the mother, excuse me. So that means that if you're saying she's evil, it's because you are. And it was true. Don't you see it? Because everything she did, her mother told her to do it. See? When she divorced me, where do you guys think she went to go live with my children? Just take a lucky guess, guys. Did she go and live with another man and remarry? No. Did she go and start a new relationship? No. She's with a woman now. She's in a lesbian relationship now. See, little flockulators? Does that make any sense there to the hierarchy God has set forth? Or is it either even furthermore displaying Jezebelian traits? This is what you want to teach your sons. Instead of them to be taught by their father, you rather them be taught by this. Want to be. Because you're in the wannabe world. You paint everything up, see? When we're married, oh, no face, no makeup, no need for it. You're beautiful, don't need it. Now, oh, face completely caked up with makeup. So I'm not making anything up that I'm saying. I'm just bearing witness to the truth that it is indeed true what the scriptures have been saying all day today. I can see it in my own damn life. Can you? All right. Watch what I'm about to tell you right here. My ex-wife, who I told you is very physically stunning, I said to her one day, "You're so beautiful. Why do you even put on anything, any makeup or even anything on your face? You don't need to. You're just too beautiful to have to do it." And she said, "Do you know the first time I ever felt pretty is when I walked into a room with a face full of makeup on?" So that means that you painted your face before you went in the room. Sounds like Jezebel. So who's your mother? Alrighty then, little flock. You see how it's going? I'm not making anything up. I don't have to. All right then. So you read what it just said there in verse 44. Let's read verse 45. "Thou art thy mother's daughter." Does it say you're your father's daughter? See what I mean about fatherless homes? Why is everybody in denial about this? Because of the ego of the woman. I told you, Jezebel represents the female ego. The female ego cannot take accountability for the destruction she's causing. It's not her fault. I'll give you an example. If Naboth was able to miraculously come back to life and to go to Jezebel and say, "Jezebel, why you do that? Why you get those men to bear false witness and kill me?" She would say to him, "Why didn't you just give my husband the vineyard that he asked for?" then I wouldn't have had to do that. See what I'm saying? And you guys know that's true. You know that's true what I'm saying, isn't it? Instead of saying, well, you're right, I was wrong, period. That was just evil. It was evil what I did. No. No, 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 no. All right, the dog's got to eat her up. You see? Watch this characteristics about Jezebel even further as we dig the dagger into her heart as she's laying there with our boot on top of the knife. We're going to stump it down deeper, make sure she's all the way dead. All right? So we don't suffer her because Yahusha don't want us to. Watch what it says in verse 45. You are your mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children. See? Do I have to say it? Or does the Bible say it? But yet y'all see it in the world. So then the scriptures are telling you what you see in the world. You are the mother of your daughter. I mean, you are the daughter of your mother who hates her husband and her children. And that includes you, the daughter. She hates you too. So what did you learn? How to hate. You didn't learn love because you didn't have no father. Why? Because your mother hated his ass. I'm never saying that right now. I mean, I'm not saying that right now. The Bible is saying it. But look how you want to get mad at me because you're wicked as hell and mad. See what I'm saying? Because y'all don't understand spiritual things. Too carnally minded to do that, I guess. Let's continue digging the dagger in some more. You hate your husband and your children, and you are the sister of your sister. So some other bitches that's like that bitch, which loatheth her husbands and her children. So the mother hate her husband and her children, and the daughters also hate their husbands and their children. And that's what you see in the world. That's why you see divorce rates sky high out of the fucking roof. It doesn't matter what the man does. If the woman hates him off Jump Street, what can he do to ever have somebody be one with him that rejects him from the moment they enter each other's arms? That's what hate means, rejects. She rejects her children. She rejects her man, all in place of her own personal ego. How I feel. She will tear the tribe of the family up that is made up of 6 people. And 5 of those people want to keep it together. She's the only one who wants to tear it down. What does the Bible say about a woman that does that? The foolish woman tears her house down with her own what, little flock? The grandson ain't saying it. God's saying every word that I'm saying that's digging his dagger in your bitch ass. Because we want her dead. We want her up out of here. We don't want babies crying no more. We don't want kids without their fathers sad as hell over some dumb shit because you hate your father, but you hate the man, and you hate the damn children as well. We just read it in the Word. We just read it in the Word. Take it up with the Bible. Read the Bible right there, what I'm reading. And just see how you feel before you come at me mad about what I'm saying. All right, which loatheth her husband and her children. Your mother was a Hittite and your father's an Amorite. You see that? That means heathen. Idol worshiping heathens. That's what it means. And thine elder sister is Samaria, and she had her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Y'all know what Sodom is. Sodom and her daughters. So there's 2 groups of lesbians. I'm sorry to make people's feelings get hurt because y'all don't understand spiritual things, but that's what that means there. The ones that are sodomites, which group of lesbians can you guys imagine that those are? They wouldn't happen to take this thing that has a strap like a damn belt buckle and strap it around their bodies and get the humping away, do they? They'll even do it to a man, won't they? That's what you're reading. It ain't me saying it. I'm just telling y'all the characteristics of the Jezebelian type teachings. Yes, Jezebel is all about the Baphomet bow, like I told you. Have you looked at a Baphomet bow? It has titties and a phallus. So that represents a woman in a dominant position. That's what it means. That's why she like to put the strap on and go up the back door of any man that she can find. That's why they're the daughters like Sodom. That's what it's saying there. Just keeping it real with you guys. And I don't care how you feel. That's why I'm that guy that does that. You see? All right. As I live, says the Lord God, Sodom, thy sister, hath not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, you and your daughters. So you're all being wicked. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister, Sodom. See, that's one of the things she was doing. I described it to you. Pride, fullness of bread, gluttony, and abundance of idleness, slothfulness. Look at the 7 deadly sins that she's got. Look at it. Lust, pride, gluttony, slothfulness. All mentioned there. That means who her daddy is, don't it? Told you guys that. It was in her and in her daughters, and neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. See? And they were haughty. Look at that. They're prideful women strutting around like they shit don't stink with their BBL and shit. See? And committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Did you hear that? Yeah. I took them away. You see that? Hop down to verse 52. You also, which have judged your sisters, bear thine own shame for your sins that you have committed, more abominable than they. They are more righteous than you. And yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame, and that thou hast justified thy sisters. You see it? All right. Trying to see if there's anything else I want from there. Go to verse 56. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by thy mouth in the day of thy pride, before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that were round about her, the daughters of the Philistines which despised thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thine abominations, says I am. Okay? For thus saith the Lord El, verse 59, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done. You see that there? And has despised the oath in breaking the covenant. See? Breaking oath. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish thee as an everlasting covenant. Then you shall remember thy ways, and be ashamed, when thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant. And it goes on to speak, but you see what's going on. So you guys see it? Is it hard to be seen? I wouldn't say that it is. The message is getting kind of long, so we're going to go ahead and end it here. So now, like I've described to you in such great detail, that's the world that you've been living in, little flock. Jezebel's world. Very murderous, very deadly. Can't you tell? Did we not prove it? You see, it's the world without the Father's love. And it's the world of the fallen state of mankind, as we've discovered by looking at Ahab, by looking at Herod, who are supposed to be kings, yet they're at the word of some woman that's telling them what to do, even costing people's lives, and they are doing it. Where's their integrity? And before I end this message, one last point. What does Jezebel seek to destroy more than everything else? It says she was drunk on the blood of the prophets. See, wanted to kill them. What does she want more than anything else? She wants the man to give up his dignity. Why else would you think a woman would take that strap thing that I told you about and tell a man to bend over? It's to take his integrity as a man. The footing that causes him to stand up as a man, she wants to remove that so he can fall from that standing that he has. So that she can rule over him. You see it? So how can we prove that? When we read the book of Job, his wife says to him, why dost thou retainest thine integrity? Curse God and die. See? It's not like another man came and said that to him. It was the wicked ass woman. Curse God and die. That sound like a righteous thing to say? Nope. But she said it. And then he said it was foolishness to talk like that. So he remained in his integrity as a man. Do you think women like to be called foolish when they say something? Of course they don't. Usually that's going to spark a big ass argument. But did you notice? Job was a perfect upright man and he said it. He didn't care how it made her feel. Do you think it made her feel good when he said it? All right then, so that should answer your question. So a woman doesn't realize that she has actually met a man when a man tells her the truth, regardless of how she feels about it. It's when he lies when she can no longer respect you. So the best thing to do is not lie. And you should not lie to have a good relationship with a woman. You should not lie so that you have a good relationship with the spirit. You see it? Your first love. And when he is your first love, then she's secondary. Now you got your integrity back. Got my integrity back. I found out who I was, so don't be calling me black. Still on this, right?